Hello, and welcome to the Social Small Talk.
Hey everyone, this is Audra Brim, and I am so excited that you've joined me for this episode of the Social Small Talk. I'm the CEO and founder of Brim Media, and I have dedicated my professional life to helping the beauty industry navigate the digital space. I believe that everyone can succeed if we learn from each other. That's why I'm here bringing ideas and information that can help you navigate the noisy digital marketing space. Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's Social Small Talk. I am excited because I have someone that I look up to in the beauty industry, probably more than she knows because I stalk her a little bit too much. She's probably going to be like, great, Audra, thanks a lot. But she has so much value add to the beauty industry, and I know you'll know who I'm talking about, but I want to introduce Alison Alhamed of R&Co, and she just is so amazing. And Alison, I just want you to kind of briefly tell everyone, you know, people really do know you from Modern Salon magazine, and I know people know you from that, but you've done so much in such a small time at R&Co that I'd love for you just to explain a little bit more about what you do.
Thank you so much for having me this morning. What a fun way to start the day. When you and I first met, I feel like we instantly clicked, and then we had the best trip ever to Italy with one of your clients and just got to spend so much time together, and we laughed so much. So it was nice to be able to start the day with you today. I need a happy face. Crazy 2020. So I had been sort of flirting with R&Co for some time. As the editor-in-chief at Modern Salon, I was able to work with the best brands in beauty and really get involved with their marketing teams, their educators, the stylist network, and really kind of had my pick of the litter of where I wanted to go when I was ready to make the leap with the next step in my career. And I hadn't really been looking, but the only brand that kept really kind of emerging as one that I wanted to keep really close was R&Co. I worked at Modern for 12 years. So I was around when luxury brand partners really started to gel up, when it was a concept to when it was a dynamo, and getting to know the team really well, getting to know the products really well, getting to know the personalities really well. I was in love with this brand, and I hadn't even tried the products yet. So once I got my hands on R&Co products, because like they're incredible with branding, like their packaging is so beautiful and cool and unique, and the team is so incredible. I joke about Milk Bar, you know, the bakery that I'm obsessed with. I fell in love with Milk Bar before I even tasted it. And so like I'm a sucker for good branding, and R&Co is just so spot on with branding and doing it right, and their positioning in the market. And they just, LBP, the parent company of R&Co, they just do things well and so cool. And they invest their time, energy, and efforts into the same things that I believe in. Like right now, sustainability is so critical to the brand, and coming out with eco-friendly packaging, and they're vegan, they're gluten-free, they're Leaping Bunny certified, like all the things that I love about this brand, that once this opportunity popped up, where I knew that I would be able to make an impact, I couldn't turn it down. So ultimately, the best 40% of my job at Modern Salon is now 100% of my job at R&Co. So I manage all the social communities. So from TikTok to our podcast, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, all of those things were on the agenda for me taking on this role. But then my first day, I think, was March 4th. Literally the same week, the world changed with coronavirus and the US's response to it. So I'm so fortunate that my first week on the job, I was able to go to Miami, the headquarters, and I got to meet the team and meet the co-founders, Garen, Howard McLaren, Tom Priano, and spend time with the Legends Miami tour. And then I came home, and I haven't been in the field since. So the job initially was VP of community and social media, and it's transformed into also coming up with innovative digital ideas with the extended team to help salons make money if their businesses are closed for shelter in place. So we launched the affiliate program called R&Co Love, and I've been spending most of my days here training salons and stylists on affiliate marketing. So using their social media platforms to sell products that support their small businesses. So taking content that converts to sales and coming up with fun ways, because it's intimidating for salons to think of themselves as a competitor to Amazon, coming up with different concepts to build their following for them, helping them kind of become rock stars both within their community and then getting the attention of people all around the country, because with affiliate programming, you're not limited to your geographical zip code. You can sell to somebody in a different state. So really just talking about content, community, connection, it's been crazy, like crazy.
I can't even imagine. I remember seeing you switch from Modern to R&Co, and all of a sudden, like you said, it seemed like the world blew up. And what's funny for us is like, I even wrote you like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And you were saying how lucky you were, like how amazing it was. It's crazy. And as digital marketers, we do have to be innovative. And I do say that because I feel like no matter what's going on, you have to be innovative. But now, especially in the beauty industry, it takes on a different level. And when you're talking about affiliate marketing, especially for salons, I love that you're helping salons be able to get to that, because it is intimidating, right? Like everyone we talk to is like, well, Amazon's the beast. Like I'm never going to be able to compete with Amazon. But at the same time, as marketers, we know consumers really do love the story, the people. You even said you fall in love with brands by their branding, not necessarily by their product. And that is very valuable when it comes to consumers. And people want to help their local salons. They want to help the local businesses, even brands as well. I mean, we're looking at a time that if you have human interaction, people care about you much more than if you're very robotic. I'd love to know from you, as you were, again, in like your first, second week of the job, when you were trying to think of different ways to pivot, what made you realize we need to pivot in this direction? Was it that you were starting to hear all of these things from salons, or is it just something inside of you that's just like, you know what, I know we have to do this?
R&Co as a brand, long before I joined, had plans to do an affiliate program. And when salons went into lockdown, everything stopped to make this happen. And I was in the right place at the right time with the right people. So it wasn't my idea. And I'm so honored to have been invited to the table to talk through what makes sense for us as a brand and for our industry as a whole. I got to listen in on and contribute to the conversation about affiliate marketing. What do salons need most? They need cash and they need it now. I was in the meetings with the president, Dan Langer, and he said, okay, what do we think? Like traditional 30-day payout, does that make sense right now? And the answer from all of us was no, it doesn't. They need money now. So we pivoted and did every Friday payout, direct deposit, which is very unusual. Often it's a 30-day net turnaround after selling, to figure out returns, figure out all that. This was 7 days. And we raised the commissions from a traditional 20% program to 40%. We are also coming up with flash sales frequently so that, because like the reality is affiliate marketing, it doesn't sound sexy. It can be confusing if you've never done it before. So the very first flash sale that we did at R&Co, and we're not known as a brand that does like a bunch of sales, we did a liter flash sale. So our liters of shampoo and conditioner were buy one, get one, which is like legit unheard of for this brand.
Literally.
But it helped.
Never.
So it helped owners see the potential. Once they started posting about this liter sale and they saw their clients going crazy and they saw that money coming in, their eyes were open to the power of affiliate marketing. And I think that really helped make it successful from launch. Since we launched in March, we've paid out $750,000 in commissions to salons from the program, which is just so exciting. It's so cool. It's a lot of money coming out and supporting. We can't do what we need to do without them doing what they need to do. So it's this great cycle of support, and it's been awesome. So since launch, we've developed several other programs that complement the affiliate program with support for the salon network. One is a private R&Co Love Instagram community where people can go to the page and literally screenshot the pictures we post with the captions pre-written and post it to their page, because I'm learning how much time salon owners and stylists are spending writing captions, and they're like, it's a little intimidating if you're not a wordsmith. And so we do the work for them. We also launched an R&Co Love affiliate program guide. So there's easy to access Dropbox folders of pictures and pre-written captions and business ideas all on there. And then we also launched the virtual salon series class, which is a by invitation only class for the R&Co network. It's every Monday, 3 hours every Monday. It's called IRL to URL, so the virtual salon series program. So it's all about how to stay connected when your salon doors are closed, how to use affiliate links to help support your small business, and kind of like troubleshooting all of it. From I do the social media content, so we talk through and audit your social pages. And then it's really kind of looking at goal setting. So like, what's your rent every month? Your rent is here. Here's how many sales you need every day to hit your rent. And salon owners are like, I only need 1.5 sales a day and my rent is paid for. So it's just kind of talking through those things. And I think once the world started to open up again, I was very happy that we didn't lose momentum with the affiliate program. But just as of yesterday, California just locked down their salons again. And so we're going to continue to see this unfortunate open, close, open, close, open, close. And the one consistent is this affiliate program, and really looking at your online presence as a way to keep your business thriving, even if your doors are closed. And so we're hoping that this isn't just like a stopgap when this is going on. We want it to be exciting. We want it to help salons. We really want them to look at themselves as online retailers. So that's really been the focus. And again, I love that this is a brand that does what's right. And the whole 7-day payout thing with aggressive commissions was very exciting to me.
Well, and I think a big piece of this, and this goes back to, I say this a lot about being human and humanizing a brand, is this showcases, it's just, you're not just this big brand, right? Like, you guys have hearts, you care about people at the end of the day. It's not just about money. And I think sometimes, especially in the beauty industry, it becomes like, all right, how much money? How much money? We need to keep growing. And it's more about giving back to those that really help you elevate your brand as well. I think affiliate marketing, like you said, it's not sexy. It doesn't sound sexy at all. It's not like this great thing that you can put up and everyone's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And a lot of the times we think about like 7 years ago, 10 years ago, to a different affiliate marketing and how that all played out. So if you were a brand that's just trying to pivot, or even salons that are thinking about like, what can I do better right now? We're in the COVID stage right now. And like you said, there's going to be a lot of openings, closings. We don't know what's going to happen in the next year. 2020 has definitely thrown us for a loop. What would you say to them if they're thinking about affiliate marketing and like how to take that next step to really help other people, help salons, help boutiques, stuff like that? Because it's not, in the beauty industry, like, it does encompass so much. It's not just like salons, which do need the help a lot. There's the boutiques out there as well that are really struggling, trying to figure out how they're going to pay rent. I think it's perfect for the goal setting. But if they're just sitting there thinking, as a brand, where should I start? What in affiliate marketing will actually help me elevate to help other people? What would you say?
I think that there's this immediate response to want to go big and like partner with an influencer. And I feel like that's a misstep. especially for a smaller brand. Influencers are incredible, almost like running a full page ad in a magazine. Like they have an audience. But the reality is, once your following gets big, you are being courted by every company under the sun. So as a small brand, what can you offer that influencer to be loyal to you? Loyal enough where people see Audra and they know Audra uses this hair care brand or this skincare brand or this tanning lotion or this eyelash. Like it needs to become a part of who they are and their personal brand. Take someone like me. I don't have a huge following. It's petite, but it's powerful. It's the right following for my personal brand. But I've chosen to write about Milk Bar, right? And when you think of Milk Bar, you think of Alison. But if Milk Bar were to partner with some chef, baker, someone with like 200,000 followers, they're probably hawking different pastries left and right. I don't get paid by Milk Bar. I just like being affiliated with Milk Bar. And so I think because I don't have a huge following, right? And because I'm not being courted left and right, the bigger the influencer, the more you have to shell out dollars, incentives, higher commission. Like, so if I was a brand, I would think about who are my, you've heard this term before, raving fans, who is obsessed with me, is eager and wants to work with me. I want to reward them with freebies. So like, let's say you're a mascara brand. Maybe don't partner up with like the biggest makeup influencer out there who's posting about everything under the sun for dollars. Maybe look at like someone who's just trying to get noticed. Maybe they have 2,000 followers, but they take great pictures or great videos. I would like partner up with them, and their audience knows that whatever products they're talking about, they're likely authentically talking about those products. So I'm all about that micro influencer. Whenever we do programs with influencer sampling, I like to have a full range of people, following, finishes. So if you're really assessing where your dollars are going, I wouldn't look at partnering with like a big time influencer. I would look at how can you get people who love you authentically within your family? How do you keep them there, keep them loyal, and then reward them? And rewards don't always have to be dollars. They could be free products. It could be opportunities, like not just for exposure, but for learning. Maybe it's education. Maybe it's giving them products before they're released so they feel like they're in the know. And it's sometimes people just want to be acknowledged and affiliated. You know, I remember when Dyson launched their blow dryer in the pro market, and people hadn't even tried it, but they wanted it because it was Dyson. And they know that if Dyson was going to put something out there, it was going to be good, right? I would just take that similar approach, like really be selective with who you work with. And if they love you already, show them some love back.
I couldn't agree more right now. And I'm like scarily like shaking my head. Yes, yes, yes. We see more success with micro influencers. And this isn't to say that bigger influencers don't work. So it's not that, but we do see more success in the micro influencers. And it goes back to authenticity. People, consumers, talk to your friends, right? Like your friends buy because either you or their friends or their neighbor has recommended something usually. And you want that 2,000 follower person that is connected like a friend to those 2,000 people. I tell everyone you would rather have 1,500 people buying from you off of a $2,000 or a 2,000 follower account rather than like 5 people from a huge influencer. And then you try to figure out, well, how come I didn't see any ROI off of this? And I agree with you a lot, which is I actually tried to not spend dollars on influencers. I try to find exactly what you said, which is experiences, products, linking them to maybe we tend to partner right now, at least what's happening is a lot on TikTok, and the moms all went there, and there's a lot of micro influencers on there, and the moms there are shouting off the rooftop about products that they love, even without doing anything, but they're trying to elevate something in their life. So we try to figure out what that is and really help them. And it goes back to, we want to be better people and make not just the brand better, but actual people better. So how can we help elevate each other rather than just thinking about how much money can I throw at you and how much money can you get me back? It's all about like an actual everlasting relationship. And we really want to make that relationship, because I would rather have a partnership that lasts for 10 years than like 3 months and they're sitting there going, all right, where's my next paycheck? And it's like, wait, we're trying to actually act like you're in house with us. We want you to feel like you're part of our team, not just you're stranded on this island hoping that maybe someone will reach out to you. Because we hear that a lot from micro influencers, like, oh, I really loved partnering with so-and-so, but I never heard back from them after a month. And it's like, oh, like maybe there wasn't a value there. What is the value that you're looking for, and what do we need as well? And it's being very honest about what you're looking for, right? I think we've seen this a lot, especially in 2020 with digital marketing changing so much. Like, let's be real, last year and even the year before that, influencers were the hottest thing that I think most people were talking about. And it was influencer events and how to do that. And clearly that's not happening right now. I mean, Alison and I are both sitting in our homes with our kids probably yelling somewhere. And the events aren't happening as much. But when it comes to a digital community, like you said, that Instagram community really helping people out, how do you feel like brands can elevate that community a lot more online now that we're in 2020 in COVID? And even when COVID ends, and let's knock on wood because it's going to happen, even when it ends, we are changing the way we're going to look at things after 2020, after 2021. So how can we really form this community on digital? How do you see it happening for other brands to make sure after COVID that we're still part of something, that it doesn't just go back to, all right, let's all go back to all these conferences and all these events. It's like, we could still stay home and help each other out. How do we do that?
You know, it's crazy. Just this morning, I was organizing my apps on my phone, and I literally moved off American Taxi and American Airlines from my home screen all the way to the back and moved my favorite Instagram apps forward so that it was easier for me to find them, because the reality is that's just taking up real estate on my homepage and I didn't even really feel sad about it. It's crazy to go from traveling every 10 days or so to come to a screeching halt. And I think any marketer, any real person in this beauty industry is going through that right now, because we are an industry that loves in-person events and loves connecting in real life, because we're so saturated with advertising and saturated with paid content, and we love influencers. So it's constant ads. But when you're in real life at an event, like there's something really like powerful there about the in-person. And so it's the same relationship with stylists and their clients and salons and their clients. Like it's that real life appointment moment, that connection. So if that can't happen, what can you do? And so we keep telling our network of salons and stylists, connect with your clients. Here are all the ways you can stay connected. Instagram, direct message, public comments, private conversations, pick up the phone, send the email, like have a WhatsApp group for your curly girls and talk about curl products here. Like do this, tutorials, do this. Get on the phone and connect. And what's crazy is like we as a brand at R&Co started taking our own advice. So we're doing way more Zoom calls, way more picking up the phone, way more intimate coaching sessions with social and content that converts to sales, and way more of these things that like we used to only do if we really got on an airplane. Of course, the sales team and the account consultants, they're doing those things all the time. But the reality is when a stylist or a salon owner can connect with the president of the brand they carry in their salon, they feel heard, they feel recognized, they feel valued, and they feel like they're contributing to where a program might evolve to. So the advice I would give is get connected with those that are connecting to you with this it feels like I'm having eye contact with you right now, Audra. And you're in a totally different state and totally different time zone. But I feel like I was with you when we used to say our conversations were like, you have to come to Colorado. Like, oh, I can't wait to see in Chicago. Like, oh, maybe next time. We don't have to wait. We can literally do it right now. I have sweatpants on. Like, I'm cool with this, So I think it's important to just have eye contact with people, give them the opportunity to provide feedback. Quite honestly, the best successes of the affiliate program have come from feedback from those using it. That's the best part about social media, even, is you're able to hear what your audience wants from you. And if a product launch is going to be a flop before you even release it, like, you can gauge those things differently by putting it out there and asking for feedback. So that's the advice I would give, is keep connected. When I was at Modern Salon, I was able to form really great relationships based on the internet connection. I would take a meeting and then immediately go and follow that person. And all of a sudden I know more about their life. I'm connecting with them. Like, the professional wall starts to drop a little bit, and you're able to have like a friendship with somebody. The next time you see them in person at a meeting, you can say like, oh, how's your doggy? I saw you got a new puppy, or congrats, your kid got into college, or whatever it is. Like, you're able to connect. And I also feel like it's less formal connection. And so you're able to, if it's a salon and a stylist, like, they're not on the laptop all day long. They're talking to clients all day. And then at night they go home and they're on their phone. Like, they might see an email from the president of a company and it's written formally, and they feel like they need to wait until the morning to respond and like read it and spend the time, and then they get busy. So I feel like on Instagram, like, DM, comment, like, and you're more easily able to informally connect, which helps that right to advance. Like, it advances the relationship in a way that doesn't feel salesy. It just feels like you're making an effort. So I'm all about that.
I love that so much, especially with not just, and not the tedious, like, oh, I have to go in and comment today. It's like, no, you actually care. You want to connect with people that either want to buy from you or just a relationship. Like, Alison said this earlier, but her and I went to Italy together for a client, and we laughed so hard, and it actually had nothing to do with work, but we've just kept in contact ever since because of how much fun we had. I mean, I've never wanted more gelato in my life like I did from that moment. And it's just true. It's that connection. And I think pre-COVID, a lot of us were getting sucked into like the beautiful Instagram feed and how it needed to look perfect and everything like that. And I say there's like a big shift, and it goes back to, like you said, you're in sweatpants. I stopped wearing pants and only wear dresses because I have gained the COVID-15 and literally can't put pants on. So still stuck in dresses. But for me, it's more about making sure you don't need to be perfect. Like, you're in your sweatpants, you're in your house, I'm in my house. I literally have holes in my wall because we were going to redo our office right before COVID hit, and then COVID hit and we just got stuck. But no one cares anymore. And when we get out of this, we've seen so much of people and how they've pivoted and how they've changed and almost how they see the world a little bit differently, that at least I hope as a marketer, that we don't go backwards. I want us to go forwards into, and I say this a lot, which is being very authentic, being human, but really showcasing like who we really are rather than who we want people to see. Because who we really are is usually why people either buy from us or want to be our friends or connect with us and have lifelong relationships. So when you're DMing, when you're actually doing that, it has to be with people you actually want to communicate with, not just because you feel like you have to be forced to do so. And I think that's perfect, whether you're a brand or a salon or a boutique. You want people to shop from you or for you on e-commerce or in a store because they get you, not because you just have to have the money. And I get it. Like, money right now, especially, is very important. It keeps us afloat. It keeps things going. It helps your marketing budget. There's just a lot of things that it equals to. But you want those, and you said it too, Allison, which is you want those raging fans. You want those people that care so much about you that they're going to literally walk outside and a friend's going to say something. You're going to be like, did you hear about Milk Bar? Again, I literally have never even had milk at all. And it was the first thing I said to Allison today off of her, because I just know that she's obsessed and I now always want to try it. But it's because a friend likes something. It's Audra Brim here, taking a quick break. Thanks again for listening. I just wanted to let you know about the offer Brim Media has put together called the 6-Month Strategy to Grow Your Business. This is your chance to have a tailor-made 6-month strategy to grow your business online. Think of us as your digital partner. We work with you to create a cost-effective success plan for your social media and digital marketing efforts. To learn more, go to www.brimmedia.com/6-month-custom-plan. I can't wait to hear from you, and we look forward to working together. The big piece to this that I think brands do have a hard time with is, okay, so you DM, you comment. How do you get people off of social media and into, whether that's an email list, email marketing, drip campaign, or more human, more of like an actual like phone call and stuff like that? How do you feel like people can do better to not just keep every one of their fans just stuck on social? Because I think what we're seeing, and I can say this perfectly because of what's happening with TikTok, you can grow your following. Tomorrow is never like set in stone. Like, unfortunately, things can happen. TikTok can be shut down. And everyone that you had there, if you didn't get them off of there, is just stuck there. Like, you didn't put in the effort to make sure not only are you having that communication, but that relationship off of social media as well. So as digital marketers, I know you and I take a lot of time to figure out, all right, what is the best way to get these people from point A to point Z? What would you say to brands that are just struggling right now? Like, they don't know how to ask for an email or how to ask for a phone number. What would you say?
When I was at Modern Salon, that was a big focus with the executive leadership team was Instagram is amazing. Facebook is amazing. However, we don't own that audience. Instagram owns it. Facebook owns it. We're renting. And when you are posting on Facebook and then you're boosting and you're boosting and you're boosting and then a post you don't boost, like you can see a huge difference with your reach. And then all of a sudden you're trapped. And if you have something to say, you need to throw some cash at it to make sure people see it. And so the value of having multiple streams of communication, multiple delivery vehicles is critical. And I think you can use your social platforms as a way to drive those other initiatives. At R&Co, we do monthly partnerships with brands that are aligned with the same mission as ours. And we do giveaways. So the last giveaway we did was with Pink Pewter and their hair accessory company. I love them. They sent the product here. I took some photos of it, and the two of us posted at the same time, same caption, the same rules, and it was a follower-based giveaway. And that was extremely successful because we saw a big spike in following. They were very excited because people that like R&Co will likely find something to like at Pink Pewter and vice versa. Our next partnership is an email-based campaign. So we partnered with several other brands, and that's happening this week, where we are emailing our network. We're at the same time doing an Instagram post. At the same time, we're doing X, Y, Z. So it's like multiple delivery vehicles. And to enter, it's an email entry. So it's a multi-pronged entry, but it starts with email so that we're able to collect email addresses. We partnered with a brand, and we're going to share those with all the right and compliance rules with like sharing that information. So I think using your social platforms, maybe do something that's like going to incentivize people, like a giveaway. And to enter, you have to enter your email address. So when I was at Modern, we used to do different contests. It's really easy to do a hashtag contest where you're like, use this hashtag to entry, but you don't learn anything about the people entering. So what we would do is we would have a URL that they had to click on to enter their photo. And then they would have to tell us a little bit about themselves. And then at the very end, we had them answer like 3 or 4 questions so that we got a little bit of data on them. Are you an independent stylist? Are you a commissioned stylist? What are your 3 best-selling retail lines? What are your 3 favorite color lines? Like, depending on what our goal was for that contest. So we not only got entries, we not only got emails, we not only got the buzz, but then we also got data. And so those were extremely successful. And you might not get as many entries, but they were quality. I think if you have like a multi-pronged entry process, you really kind of filter through the noise and get to the people that are really ultimately going to be the people you want to attract anyway.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. And you're talking about all these different streams, like you said. And for me, when we think about different streams, I think a lot of people get hung up on right now, not just email marketing, but on the organic side and then the paid side. And I think brands especially, it's noisy, right? Like we all know how noisy social media has become, especially on the paid side. Like we just know, Alison and I were talking about what a great month June was and how different things are. Things just change on a moment's notice. And I tell this all the time, which is after any given phone call, I guarantee something has changed on social media as soon as I get off of it that I have to figure out and learn and change something else, whether that's what's going to get approved, what's not going to get approved, why some people are clicking and not clicking, right? When you look at the delivery of organic social media and paid social media, especially if a brand is looking at where their dollars should go, what would you say has worked, whether it's in the past and maybe what hasn't worked for you when it comes to putting money out there, at least on social?
Well, we only know what we know. And what I know is that in past experiences, boosting on the regular with Facebook is both beneficial because you can hyper target your content. So like if you're trying to talk about an event that you're going to have, you can say like, well, this is my key demographic. It's in Florida. So I'm going to add in Miami, South Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Coral Gables. Like you can really target location. You can really strategically pick your age range that you want to target, the male, female. You can pick their interests. You could put like, if it's a hairdresser event, maybe you're listing Cosmoprof, Salon Centric, Modern Salon, Behind the Chair, and like whatever their interests are. But there is definitely a punishment if you don't boost. Huge drops in reach and engagement. And so if you're boosting on the regular, you are going to fall into that trap. I imagine where everything needs to get boosted. At Modern, we never really boosted editorial. It was only paid content. And on Instagram, we never boosted and always had such high engagement, such high consistent engagement, such high reach, such high impressions. And like we would boost when things needed a little bit more love, but we never really were punished with engagement and reach. At R&Co, we very rarely boost anything on either platform, and our engagement continues to be really high. And it could be higher through boosting if we just had this event actually, which is so crazy because it's COVID is going on and we were able to pivot our digital education. And we had an in-person event yesterday in Miami at a drive-in theater. So it was a social yet physically distant evening of inspiration, education, and entertainment, all from the safety of your own vehicle. So we boosted that event and we got, great returns. We hit our goal number of who we wanted to attend and it was awesome. And we can talk about that if you'd like, but I think you really have to pick and choose and don't fall into the trap of boosting absolutely everything.
I mean, here's the thing is like, I think this is a huge fun fact for everyone too, which is there's the organic piece, which is your content, your image goes up on the feed. It looks pretty, great, has good hashtags. What I tell people and what I think you're getting to as well right now, which is boosting has changed. And I actually don't recommend boosting unless it's like you said, where it's a post about an event or something like that. What we do and what we love to do, especially for our clients, is be able to do an ad that's specifically focused on, especially when it comes to e-commerce, is making sure that you're driving sales to a certain point. and it has nothing to do with the posts. Posts should be engaging and be able to be reshared, talked about, whether that's consumer, whether that's salons, whether that's boutiques, whether that's anything, right? You want them to have your content so that they are, again, your raving fans. What you said, Allison, perfectly, which is you want your affiliates to be able to take those pictures, have the captions, and go post it everywhere. That's what organic is meant for. It's meant for it to be able to be reshared and talked about and create a conversation. When I talk about paid, a lot of the time it's all about, and I think this is where a fun misconception is, brand awareness is very organic. Paid on the advertising side, not boosting, but on the advertising side, I would say is much more on your sales cycle, is about really keying in, and it could be events as well. It just depends on your goals. So this goes back to making sure you're setting yourself up for success, you're setting goals, and really diving into, okay, what is my target audience? Who's the demographic I want to go after? And then where do I want to send it to? So is it Instagram, or is it that I want them to be on my website so that I can retarget them for many different reasons, whether that's sales, whether that's helping them go into salons. Maybe that's actually helping your affiliate marketing program. You can actually just target salon owners that have gone to your website and be able to really segment it out. I think what we're coming to right now is that people get so hung up on how their organic looks that they forget that there's this separate piece, that yes, the organic piece, the brand awareness piece needs to be there. You need to look alive. I know as a consumer myself, if I get an ad, I immediately go to their page because I want to see, one, are they real? Because I know you're shaking your head, Allison, which is we all get advertised by companies that just started like a week ago and drop ship from different places and stuff like that. I want to know this is a real company. So you want your brand awareness to showcase that. But then on the paid side, you want to make sure you're actually targeting the correct people to be able to elevate other things that you're being able to show. So I agree with the boosting 100% because it's like, I think people go down the rabbit hole of going, why am I not getting any return on my money when I boost? But in reality, that's not really for sales. It's just your brand awareness. And I don't know what your thoughts are, but because it's changed so much over time, but vanity metrics, like how do you feel about followers always increasing, and engagement is currency on social. So that's besides the point, but like the followers beforehand, it was such a big deal, but now how do you feel about that? Is that still a big deal that you would say, at least as a brand?
Yeah, I think followers matter. I'll give you a personal anecdote. My husband recently got all of his childhood video cassettes back from his mom because everybody's doing their cleaning, their coronavirus editing of their lives. And he brought them all home and he wants to digitize them and he wants to archive them and then, not be so worried about the actual physical cassette tape. And so he found a program online and where they essentially mail you a prepaid address label. You put your cassettes in a box and you mail it off to them. And then they email you your link to download everything. And it sounds awesome. But when you're mailing your most precious memories that are irreplaceable, we want to vet that company. And what was my natural instinct? I went to their Instagram page. And I went and I saw their following. It was okay. It was 40,000. And although it's not minimal, it wasn't massive, but I had never heard of this company. But I'm okay. So then I went to the comment section and I was reading the comments, and that was reviews. If people are pissed off, they're going to tell you and tell the world as a brand. And that's where they go, is the comment section. So there were pretty decent comments in there and it made me feel comfortable. But I will say I went a little deeper. And there was one comment that popped up from somebody. And they're like, hey, I just wanted to know if anyone's ever used this brand to send in their cassette tapes. And someone else commented 2 weeks later, yeah, I haven't, but I'm looking into it. Their lack of a social presence makes me really skeptical. And we all know how important social media is within your marketing mix. It's not everything, but it's really important. And I feel like people used to Google something to find out more about a company. And now I feel like they go to Instagram, and that following count is factored into your overall value, your overall credibility, your overall currency, your overall everything. It's not the most important thing, because a local ice cream shop with 10,000 followers means a lot more to me than like a local ice cream shop trying to get to 100,000 followers. Unless they're doing some kind of like online ordering, it doesn't make sense. So even 1,000 followers, even 600 followers, if you think about social media and your following like you're at a party with a microphone, 200 people in one room is a lot. If you can speak to 200 people, that's amazing. And if you can get those 200 people to each speak to 200 people and like keep that message going, even better. So we haven't really talked about Yelp yet, but Yelp is so important when it comes to a small business and soliciting reviews. Sometimes if you Google somebody, their Yelp page will pop up before their website pops up. You know, just like if you Google me, sometimes my LinkedIn pops up. So even though I'm not looking for a job, I keep my LinkedIn refreshed in case someone listens to this podcast and is like, who's Alison? And does a quick Google, my LinkedIn's going to pop up. So I think it's important that you keep everything current. You focus on cleaning it up. Even if it's not your most important thing that you do, I think it's important that it's within your overall mix, that everything is nice and tidy if it exists.
There's so much to this that I know you and I could talk for like hours, and I would love to have you back on because I think what you talk about is just amazing. And we all can learn so much from you, from the things that you've done super well. And we all make mistakes. I'm kind of putting you on the spot, so just know that. What is the one mistake you wish you could go back to and just like shake yourself and go, don't do that again?
When I worked at Modern Salon, we launched a recognition program called the Modern Salon 100. And it was every year we were going to announce our editor's picks. These are the 100 people you need to follow. And then we would do little bios on them. We would interview them. Like, what are your favorite products? How did you make it big on social? What picture did you post that was most viral? And then we would publish them in the magazine, release them online. It was probably one of the most rewarding parts of my career because people would message us and say, this changed my life. Like all of a sudden brands are contacting them and people are going through the Modern Salon 100 like it's a Rolodex of the who's who in the industry. You know, and when I left Modern, though, every August issue is the one that I brought home with me. And that's where we would debut the Modern Salon 100. Like it's important. It has weight. When we first released it, we DM'd everybody and said, like, congratulations, you've been named to Modern Salon 100, which means you've consistently stopped our editors' thumbs in their scrolling tracks. Like, feel free to update your Instagram bio with this recognition. And then we said something like, it'll put you in the cool kids club. And that's not what we meant. What we meant was, put this in your Instagram bio, shout it from the rooftops. This is amazing. Congratulations. Out of the hundreds of thousands of people out there, we want to celebrate you. But it wasn't a popularity contest. And of the 100 people we messaged, I wish I could go back in time and never use the phrase cool kids club, because it's designed to be positive and inclusive, not exclusive. So I think weighing your words carefully is so important, especially on a mass level, especially if you're reaching influencers or even just your fans, your followers. Make sure they're hearing what you intend to be said. And although it didn't bite us as hard as it could have, there was a little bit of a negative reaction from a couple people that required some thoughtful response. And it was a learning lesson. So what I say is, read this as though you're trying to poke holes in it. And sometimes I'll rephrase a sentence in a DM or in a public comment or caption. So read it the way someone who would want to take you down would read it, and maybe give it another read.
That's
my advice.
We all make mistakes. I love that you are willing to share one of yours. We're at time, but Alison, do you mind just letting everyone know where to follow you, where to follow R&Co, and be able to get a hold of you if they want to ask any questions after this?
I would love that. So my Instagram handle is my name, which is Alison Alhamed, ALISON ALHAMED. And I'm on DM all day, every day. In fact, it's probably easier to reach me over DM than it is on email or phone. So I encourage anybody to reach out and ask any questions. And my brand's Instagram page is at R&Co. So RANDCO.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I can't wait to have you back on here, and I really appreciate everything you've talked about with us.
Thank you. This was so much fun. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks so much for listening to the Social Small Talk. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Please visit our website at brimmedia.com for more show notes and additional episodes. If you have time, please subscribe to the podcast and consider rating and reviewing the show. It always helps other people find us. By the way, I love hearing from listeners. So send me an email at audra@brimmedia.com with your feedback. And if you send me a question, maybe I'll read it on the show. Don't worry, it'll be anonymous.